What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the MCE tutorial series. Here in today's video, we're going to go ahead and show you how to make your first early game mob farm. And it's a little bit of a double video. So I say early game mob farm, but honestly, this thing, once it's set up, is going to carry you well into the late game. You'll have, whatever mob drops you want, you can kind of set up to have them. And I've used this well into my mid to late game, and I have no problem. So we're gonna start by making a 5 by 5 little. Is this 5? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yes. And then shoot. Forget it. We're not gonna use the building gadget for something so small. So yeah, we're gonna do our 5 by 5 area of cobblestone here. And mind you, you can build this underground and just clear out a 5 by 5 area. But it is important that we have this because we're gonna need to separate our dirt. So we want our dirt to be up off of the other dirt because we're going to be utilizing, it is called a drop of evil. So if you place a drop of evil on dirt, it turns it into cursed earth, which spawns zombies or mobs, and it spawns a lot of them. So you want to be careful, because if you don't have it set up like so, where it's not connected to any other dirt, it's going to spread everywhere and you're going to be spawning like super mobs, and nobody wants to deal with that, right? So we've got this set up. Now we need to make a little wall. Is this a 5 by 5? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, okay. Well, it looks a little bigger. But once we've got this set up, we need to kind of encase it really quickly. So let's go ahead and do that. So boom, we've got our beginnings of a mob farm set up here. And now would be a good time to install some lighting for this. So normally I'll do it in the walls just because I'm underground. But if you're up, if you've built like this whole structure, then you can get away with doing it kind of like this, in this pattern. And what we're going to do is take some redstone lamps. And you can kind of pop these anywhere. Just put our lever up there. Redstone lamp, redstone lamp, redstone lamp. And depending on how many you have, you can get kind of crazy with it. I personally just like to make sure everything is lit. And we might need a repeater for this. Let's see if it'll hit all of them. Oh, oops. So yeah, it hits all of them without a repeater. That's nice. So that will make sure everything is lit in there. And then we're going to need dark glass. So remember, again, I'm not going to be showing you every single recipe. It's very easy for you guys to just kind of look them up, and it's going to help you in the long run. So I know a lot of YouTubers make their stuff to where they show every single recipe. That's not how we do it on this side. So we've got this set up, and basically this dark glass will allow us to see into here without actually having to have glass that will let light in. So no light will get in there, and we will still be able to see what's going on. So the next thing we're going to need is a mob crusher. So let's head over here, put away all of our things, get ourselves a mob crusher, some energy conduit, and we're also going to need item conduit and fluid conduit. So we plop our mob crusher down, and you're going to want to get the +2 add-on. Let's see. Add-on. And boy, oh boy, is there many of these in the mod pack. So range add-on +2. And if we peep our working area once we put this in, you will see, ooh, that's actually not big enough. Oh wait, yeah, it is. It's covering our perfect 5 by 5 there. And it's actually going out a little bit towards the back. So really, ideally, you would like to have your glass set up off of your 5 by 5. As a matter of fact, I'm just going to go ahead and do that really quick. Okay, that's better. So as you can see, we have got our thing expanded a little bit, and let's go ahead and place our mob crusher down, re-add the range add-on, and now you can see it's covering this full 5 by 5 area. So that was a little oversight by me. We're going to want a drum and our conduits like we had before. And we're also going to need some sort of energy conduit, so I'm not sure where I put those. I may have accidentally deleted them. Oh no, I've got them here. So, the things that are going to be going into here are energy, so we need to have this connected to some sort of power source. For purposes of the tutorial, we're going to use a creative block, but you should have yourselves a power grid set up already. We're going to want to have a singular fluid tank, so if we just do something like this, we can put our fluid tank here. And then we're also going to want to have some sort of item storage set up. So what we'll do is take and move things. What's going on here? Why are we having troubles? Fluid conduit. Did I already get one of those in there? Yes. Item conduit. Boom. And our item storage we will just set up over here in a second. So let's have these running over like this. So you can do this a whole lot better. All of these could be put underground and it will look a lot nicer. I personally like to have this set up like so because it's going to make life easier for us. But basically, now that we have this, we get our dark glass back. And we're going to fill this whole sucker in. And just before we finish filling that, we're going to take ourselves a single drop of evil, pop it in there like that, and you can see it's all quickly turned to cursed earth. Now this should always be active, and as soon as we cut it on, it's going to start killing the mobs. So as you can see, if we look inside, mobs will occasionally spawn, and they will be instantly crushed by the crusher. So let's wait. There you go. And look at that. Beautiful, beautiful. And we're going to start quickly farming up some fluid essence, which is basically liquid XP and mob drops. So what we're going to want to do is make sure all of our stuff is set up here. So we want this on insert, always active. And then we want to make sure this is extract, always active. And the same goes for our, so that is fluid, this is items. So we want to extract, always active on items. And as you can see, our fluid tank is starting to fill up, and that is important for our next step here. And quickly, let's go ahead and get ourselves a item storage system set up. So the way I like to do my item storage is basically, I will get myself a drawer controller from the drawers mod, and I kind of come over here and I just look through the drops. So we would like to save bones, string is nice, arrows not so much. We can make a use for sulfur, and we can also use spider eyes. So for example, we'll just kind of keep all of this stuff. Just any drop you see in here that you're like, huh, I could use that, go ahead and save it. And I wish there was a way to quickly just trash all of this stuff, but unfortunately there isn't. So now it isn't active right now, so what we'll do is we'll set up sort of something like this. And you just want a bunch of drawers, and then we will pre-select what we want in these. So if we go to our survival inventory, let's just, for the sake of this example, we'll grab like 3 things that we want to put in. So boom, 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 boom. So it's going to save all of those items for us. And I like to take a drawer key, shift right click to lock all of these, and then I also like the quantify key, so it will actually show us the number of things that we have inside of our drawer there. Let's just go dump this into the chest. And now if we turn on, make sure we're using items, always active, and we want to be inputting items into the drawer controller. So the way this will work is it'll send everything to the drawer controller, and then it'll specify which drawer it's going to go into. So as soon as we have this set to insert, always active, we're going to start seeing stuff flow into here, and it's, since we don't have these locked, it's just going to start putting random crap into our drawers, right? So all of these drops are something that we can collect from mobs. If you have enough drawers, go crazy with it. I mean, just set up something for all of the drops here. You have a bunch, but me personally, I only like a select few of them. Like, we're never going to use Macarenas, a lot of this stuff. So, you know, do this at your own discretion. And then after that, what we will do is we'll take and have some item conduit going over here, and a trash can. And basically, after everything goes to that drawer, if there's no slot that you have set up, it will just trash everything else. So our storage will always be cleaned out over here. As you can see, anything that isn't going into one of our specified drawers is going to get trashed, and we will kind of be able to keep this inventory clean and keep stacking up the drops that we want that are important to us. So our first mob farm is completely set up and it is running smoothly, but what we can do to take this to the next level is kind of make a room similar to this one except without the cursed earth. So I've quickly set that up and you can do the same yourselves. And what we're going to do is we're going to take and place a mob duplicator right here. And this is going to need a couple of things. So first of all, we're going to want to take some of this liquid essence that we've got collected here and quickly grab our fluid conduit. And we're going to want to run some fluid from here all the way to our mob duplicator. So boom, and we want this set to insert, always active, and then we want this output to be extract, always active. So if we come over to the GUI on this, you will see it's quickly being fueled up with liquid essence, and along with that fluid conduit, we're going to want to run some energy to this. So it takes two inputs, energy and fluid essence. Now we can go ahead and kind of fill in all these blocks, and this little hole here will let in a little bit of light, but don't worry, it'll be dark enough to spawn all the mobs that we need. So I kind of ran those underground to make it look nice. Not 100% necessary, but if you're like me and you don't want your room or your space to look really stupid, then probably in your best interest to do that. So let's go dump all of our crap. We're going to need some item conduits for our mob crusher here, and we can go ahead and put an energy conduit there as well. Let me just keep all the conduits on me. Probably a smart idea. So we want energy going into our mob duplicator, and we want items going out of it. Oops. And we can just kind of hook our item conduit up to the same system here. And that will send items all that way. So let's just quickly set up this. So for our items, we want to extract always active. Now we have everything set up, I do believe. And I like to personally use levers to kind of activate these systems. So we can have a lever on that and just have it to active on redstone signal. So that'll only turn on when we have that redstone signal going. And you can kind of always leave the mob crusher. But I found this to be useful for like grabbing mobs. Let's say you catch one cow and you want a couple of them. It can be useful to toggle this on and off so you can kind of go in there, capture a couple cows without them being instantly crushed. So we'll set that to active with redstone signal as well. So the way our mob duplicator is going to work is you need to have something called a mob imprisonment tool. And to quickly showcase how that works, we'll basically build one of these, take some gas tiers and a little bit of plastic, which we already should have set up. And then let's say you find an Enderman out in the world, you just simply right click them, and now we have a mob imprisonment tool Enderman, so it's captured an Enderman in it. And the first two I really like to set up are Blazes and Enderman. And if we come along over here, and also I like to add a trapdoor to mine for ease of access when it comes to switching out our mob imprisonment tools. Put one of those. And how it will work is we'll come over here, we insert our Enderman into the mob imprisonment tool, we cut on that, and then we cut this on, and it should start spawning Enderman for us any second now. So it's not working because we do not have a working area large enough for an Enderman, right? It physically doesn't have the space to spawn an Enderman. So what we're going to want to do is get our add-ons, and we're going to stick with the same +2, so it's a 5x5 area. Let's go ahead and grab two of those because we need to have them for our mob crusher and our mob duplicator. So now that we have our area working large enough, if we cut that on, it should start spawning Enderman now. Yep, and there we have it. Endermen are spawning, and ender pearls are going into here. Um, and you will want to hook this up to similarly how we have this over here. You'll just make a drawer for endermen, and it should start sending your items out and away. And as you can see here, whoa, we've got a lot of endermen. But that is gonna pretty much do it for this video. And this is a super useful mob farm, and it will allow you to, get pretty much unlimited ender pearls, unlimited blaze rods is one that I really like to have. And anytime you need a specific mob drop, instead of having to go and farm, like, sometimes rabbits can be hard to find in your playthroughs, you can go and as soon as you find that one rabbit, capture it, put it in the mob imprisonment tool, and you kind of have a little chest of those hanging around. But that is going to do it here for today's tutorial on how to build your first early game mob farm. It's a nice little setup. You can put it underground. The main takeaway should be 5 by 5 area and how to set up all of the wiring, conduits, and storage systems. So I hope you do enjoy. One last thing actually before we go, I want to mention that in your storage, you need to make sure that everything you want to save is being input first, and the last thing that can get access to from like your channels is a trash can. So everything and then your trash can, not everything. Like if you put the trash can, let's say right here, before it would get to the drawer controller, all the items are going to get thrown away before they can go here to go into their respective drawers. So should be noted. But yeah, that's it. I hope you guys have a great rest of y'all's day, and peace.